How's it, everyone? I hope all is well. So this is video number 15 of our 21-day lead generation initiative. And today we're going to talk about really how to go about ensuring that a customer understands the value of your product, right? So in the first 14 videos, we've covered a lot. So I'm going to encourage you to go back if this is the first video that you're watching. But when it comes to generating leads for your business and customers for your business, the last step is really crucial, and that's the offer, right? So we've talked about getting attention of the customer and educating the customer, and it all fits together. Today we're going to talk about your offer. We've already mentioned that your offer needs to be unique, it needs to be valuable, irresistible, and it needs to have a lot of guarantees in place. Now, from my perspective and from my experience, I'm going to use Apple again. If you've done a good enough job in the education phase, then the chances are, you don't necessarily have to discount your price in order to make the offer more attractive. If a customer says no, it's your job and responsibility as the business owner, or whatever position you're in the company. If you're in charge of sales, it's your job to find out why people are saying no. For example, with us, we don't sign every single client that obviously comes into the business or as a lead. But what I've done over the years, every single time a customer says no, thank you, I try and kind of like dissect and try and understand why they said no, and then I try and audit where I've gone wrong, where I've made a mistake, because 9 out of 10 times it was my fault where I didn't articulate the value of a product or service in some way, shape or form. So once I've got that answer, I then just include it in the next PowerPoint, I include it in the next video, I include it in articles on the site or in our pricing sheets or whatever it is, just so that I know that I tick that box now and turn that stone. Because it's your job to ensure that after everything that you've presented, that the customer truly understands the value of your product. This goes into focusing on unique selling points, all the benefits, but this all happens in the education phase, right? This happens in your marketing automation. We've talked about talking to the logical side of the customer, the emotional side of the customer. It happens when you're doing remarketing. So essentially all these things fit into the education phase. And if you've done a good enough job in the education phase, then the value of the product should always exceed the price that you're asking. And if it doesn't, and if it feels to a point where the customer is not convinced, then you didn't do a good enough job. Essentially, you need to find out where you've gone wrong and fix that. Right, so then I want to talk about discounting your offer in order to increase the value. So a lot of times, people would be on the fence. That's where you can use discounting system in order to make the offer more attractive. Now, this is not the best solution for every single business out there, just purely because of the fact that not every business allows that in terms of margin. And also, when you cut your margins, you're going to depend more on volume. So now you have to sell more products or services in order to make up for that money that you're potentially losing, right? But if your business can afford to take that knock in margin and it's still profitable for you, and if you can ensure that you're offering more value than the competitor and you can charge a better price than the competitor, essentially you'll always be converting that business. But it's your job to, one, articulate the value and ensure that the customer understands what they're actually paying for. So from my perspective, those things that are crucial when it comes to the value of the product. Really educating the customer to understand the value, unique selling points, benefits, appealing to the logical and emotional side, really informing them on how this product can change their lives and really what makes it unique to every competitor out there. And then lastly, if you feel like you haven't done a good enough job, or you really want to make sure that you increase your conversion rates, find a way to discount the product if you can afford it in order to increase that attractiveness of the offer and obviously see what happens. Right, so tomorrow we'll talk about guarantees, how to use them and how it works when it comes to eliminating the barriers of your customer, when it comes to the decision-making process. But yeah, that's all from my side today. All the best and hope these videos are helping. Have a great day.